Did you ever sow seeds in your business or in your finances at a time when things seem scary? Maybe in the middle of a famine? Well, that's what Isaac did in the Bible, and that's what we're going to talk about. He actually planted seeds in the middle of a famine. That doesn't sound very smart, does it? So what can we learn from this Bible story? Why is it included in the Bible? And what can it teach us about our business? And what can it teach about times to sow, times to stay, times to leave? And when things get tough, what do? Well, we all hit famine periods in our business. We all hit stretches where times are rough. We all hit stretches where sales are slow, where maybe just things don't seem to be working right. Maybe the employees just aren't working out. The customers aren't working out. We just hit these slumps. We all hit this famine. And at times like this, we can really wonder, is it all worth it? Why am I doing all this? I should just go get a job, right? I know I've been through that. For us, our carpet cleaning business, we're here in Florida, in South Florida, and summertime can be really slow, can be really brutal in the service business and that type of home services, because people are on vacation, kids are out of school, and they don't really want to be having a lot of things done in their home, versus here in snowbird season during the fall and winter, there's a lot more activity, a lot more action going on, a lot more jobs to be had. So what do you do during a slow season? For one thing, you can prepare for it. That's one thing that really had to shift. I had to shift, prepare marketing wise, actually amp up some of the marketing during the slow season, and also prepare finance wise. If I know it's coming every year, I can prepare for it. But what we're talking about is a little bit different here. We're talking about actually knowing the slow season's here, and that's when he's planting the seed. So I guess it is similar in a way. When this famine hit, Isaac wanted to move to Egypt, obviously to get away from it. But God told him not to. Let's turn, Genesis 26, 1-3 tells us the story. Now there was a famine in the land besides the earlier famine of Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines in Gerar. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay in this land for a while, and I will be with you and will bless you. For to you and to your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham." So what happens? God says, stay, and I will bless you. This is the land I promised you. And so that's what Isaac does. He stays. He decides to go ahead and plant seeds in the land. And what happens? Even though it's irrational, even though it doesn't make sense, God blesses him with 100-fold crop that year. He did the work, he stayed put, and God multiplied his effort. But it's not always instant results when we're going through this famine period. Sometimes God just wants us to stay and do the work. He wants us to stay and not go to Egypt, but stay there and do the work. And if we're faithful and if we are persistent and consistent, then he will multiply us, he'll bless us. And that's what he's telling us in this lesson. So even though it was this famine year, he listened and he planted. Genesis 26, 12-14 tells us, Isaac planted crops in that land, and the same year reaped 100-fold, because the Lord blessed him. The man became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. He had so many flocks and herds and servants that the Philistines envied him. So he had this 100-time wealth. He got all this wealth. God multiplied it so much, even the other people in the land were jealous of him. He listened to God. He obeyed, and he was blessed. So if your business is having a slow quarter, we have this temptation to pull back. We want to stop, save the money on marketing, save the money on business coaching, save the money on employees. Maybe we cut staff. Maybe we lay some people off. Maybe we do a hiring freeze. And that can be smart. It can be smart to watch your dollars. But if we stop putting money into the business, sometimes these slow periods can be a time where we can reinvest and really grow. Like I said, sometimes we would actually amp up some of our marketing, do some specials, especially market to past clients, and do things to really get things rolling. Sometimes we could find better deals on things because other companies were going through their slow time too. And so it was a great opportunity to ramp some things up and get things ready for when the busy season did come. We would have our stockroom supplied. We'd have all these projects done that we had been putting off during our busy time. So are we taking advantage of it? Are we taking advantage of these times and putting things to work? Are we patient when times are slow? Or do we get impatient and stop waiting on God? Stop being faithful and stop having faith in him, that he's going to bless us. If we were truly listening to his voice, if he's telling us that this is what we need to be doing, this business is where we need to be, then let's be patient and be faithful. Isaac kept sowing. He stayed the course. And he did that, and we do that until God tells us otherwise. Business needs patience. It needs consistency. It needs persistence. Things can take time. I know when we instituted a marketing program that our coach, our mentor, taught us, we lost patience. The first year, we hardly got anything out of that marketing program, but he told us to stick with it. He knew it worked. He helped us make some little tweaks. And what do you know, after about a year, it really started rolling in, and it saved us so much on marketing, yet we have better clients and we got it more consistently, and it just rolled and rolled and rolled, and really saw some of our hugest increases over the next 4 or 5 years from that marketing program. We just had to stick with it a little bit longer. Yeah, sometimes we just need to be a little bit more patient. And then sometimes God tells us to move on. If you look down at Genesis 26:22, the same story, another example, Isaac had been digging these wells, and every time the water was really rare to find there, he finally finds water. The Philistines would come, like we saw that they were envious. They would come and take over the water. And he just didn't want to keep fighting over this water. So he would just let them have it. He would dig the well. They would come and take it from him, basically. But he didn't want to. He knew if it was God's blessing that it would work out for him. So in 26:22, it says, he moved on from there and dug another well, and no one quarreled over it. He named it Rehoboth, saying, now the Lord has given us room and we will flourish in the land. So sometimes we also need to know when to move on. Sometimes we know when to keep going, but sometimes as entrepreneurs, we need to know when it's time to move on. So are you consistent? Are you persistent? When God is telling you this is where you need to be, are you loyal? Are you faithful? Are you staying? Are you shrinking back and not doing as much because you're afraid? You're afraid that things are going to dry up. You're afraid to sow the seed when the famine is here. But if God's telling you to sow that seed, then let's sow it. Let's be faithful to what he says and have faith that he's going to provide for us. And then on the other hand, sometimes when he tells us it's time to move on with the well, then we move on. So that's our lesson for today. I hope you like and subscribe, and we're going to share more content from the Bible that has to do with business and success. And my name is Jeremy. I'm with Phenomenal Business Coaching.